What is up, guys? My name is Kameding, and today I have for you guys a little summarization, I guess you can say, of Nelson Sexton's newest interview that he made on the channel known as Indie Hangover. Now, this channel only has 200 subscribers, and this interview at the moment right now only has 50 views. Now, this interview was about a week and a half ago, so it wasn't even too long ago, and it just has no views. Nelson Sexton's voice isn't getting heard, so I thought, why not let his voice be heard more? Now, the link to the interview will be in the description below. If you want to watch Nelson Sexton talk about Unturned 3 and Unturned 4, make sure to click it and you can watch the whole interview. If you just want to have a little summarization of everything that he said and all the key features and key points that he made in the interview, just stay here and I'm gonna basically summarize the whole interview. So at the beginning of the interview, Nelson Sexton says Unturned 3 is an open world modding sandbox. He doesn't even call it a survival game anymore because Unturned 3 it's not a survival game. It was meant to be a survival game, yes. Nelson built Unturned 3 to be a survival game, but the community shifted the game into non-survival. He says the game is played as create mods, make maps, create your own thing, play other people's things. That's how he sees the game being, and that's basically what it is. He says there's a lot of workshop integration, there's a bunch of Rocket plugins, and then he goes on to saying 90% of their servers are modded content, and that just blows my mind to me. I really hope that when Unturned 4 does come out, the community shifts into a survival game, but I don't know if that's gonna happen because I know Unturned 3 has such a tight community of people who just like how Unturned is right now, and they don't like the survival experience that Unturned 3 is supposed to be. And then he goes on to saying that he's creating Unturned 4 because he wants a complete graphic reset, because with Unturned 3 it's 3 years in the making. He can't just go back and overhaul all the graphics. It's not possible. He's using everything that he learned in the past 3 years and he's basically making a brand new game. So everything that you see in Unturned 3, that was his graphical ability 3 years ago. Now this is his graphical ability now. And then he brings some features such as brick walls. You're gonna be able to see the bricks in the walls, and there's gonna be cracks in the roads. Just little minor details that is going to make Unturned 4 a great game. Then he talks about Unturned 3's future when Unturned 4 comes out. He says that Unturned 3 has a very active community and that Unturned 4 is going to be a lot different because, like I already said, it's going to be an actual survival game. There's a big community of modders already in Unturned 3 that is very, very active, and he's not planning on getting rid of Unturned 3 completely. He's probably still going to do updates on it, is what he's been saying. Obviously not as frequent updates, as most of his time is going to be spent on Unturned 4, but there is probably going to be some updates coming into Unturned 3. Then he basically says why he's essentially making Unturned 4. Of course, this isn't the only reason why, but basically he's saying that he doesn't feel like he has the freedom to change Unturned 3 entirely, because a lot of people would be affected if he changes codes, because as you know, people make their own codes and basically inject it into the game with all these plugins, such as the third party known as Rocket, who creates all these plugins that hooks into the game. So he doesn't have control of the API in Rocket. He doesn't really have control of Unturned 3 anymore, because if he changes any big code in Unturned 3, that could directly affect all the Rocket plugins and make no Rocket plugins work. So if he affects anything, it's just literally going to affect the whole game. He's just trapped in this bubble where he doesn't really have freedom to change his own game because it's going to affect the whole community, which is modders. Then he basically talks about how Unturned 4 is going to be 100 times better than Unturned 3. This is because Unturned 3, he felt rushed to take it out. He even said that he built his own networking, his own level editor, and all the initial content in only 2 months time. And that is why Unturned 3 is very fragile. Its core is very fragile. Unturned 4, he's using Unreal Engine now, and he has to rewrite all the core things. So he's not using anything from Unturned 3 essentially. So everything that you see in Unturned 3 that's messy, it's probably not going to be in Unturned 4 because he's spending a lot more time on Unturned 4. When I mean a lot, I mean a lot. He created Unturned 3 quite fast, and he's going to take his time on Unturned 4 to create the best survival game that he can. And you know what, Nelson? Thank you for that. And lastly, he says a game that inspired Unturned 4, and that is Factorio, a game that he says he plays a lot and is a big inspiration into Unturned 4. So what does that exactly mean? If you take a look at the game Factorio, it's basically a automated survival game where you start with nothing, you make factories, you automate everything you can, and there you go. So does that mean Unturned 4 is going to have a lot of automation? Maybe some electricity? Maybe some crafting queue, because we know we don't have that in Unturned 3? Maybe some smelting of ores? I'm not quite sure what Unturned 4 is going to actually be, but I think that's interesting that he says Factorio is a big inspiration. But anyways, that is all that I have for you guys today. Just a little summarization of Nelson Sexton's interview. If you stayed at the end, comment down below, I love you, because hey, I love you too. And then make sure to click on the link in the description below to watch the interview in full, because I didn't just summarize everything. There is a lot. It was a 15-minute interview. Make sure to watch it all. It's very, very interesting to watch, and like I said, it has no views. Nelson Sexton's voice needs to be heard a little more than just 50 views. His voice is worth more than that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Kameding, and I am out of here. And until next time, I will see you guys later.
Hey.